Good morning. I am sitting in the college dorm at St. Thomas University. It's awfully quiet. You may ask, how can a college dorm be quiet? Well, it's easy. Your students, our students, your children, are home with you. And here in this beautiful college dorm, it's very quiet. And may I say, very unusually neat. So thank you very much. I'm here to talk with you about something that's very, very important. The nitty-gritty of parenting your college student. I am a mother of 3, and I had 3 very different experiences. One of the most challenging was when I sent the head of the high school cheerleading blonde young lady off to college, and she came home at Christmas break as a brunette, tattooed, and pierced young lady with a boyfriend who, well, may I say, my husband and I were not thrilled about. Needless to say, it was challenging for both of us and challenging for the whole family dynamic. I learned a lot from my 3 children about college, about their experiences, and about growing up. And one of the most important things I learned was the value of communication. I'm going to repeat that 3 times. Communicate, communicate, communicate. And communication is most important when it's most difficult. Your students have had an experience of independence. In preparation for my talk with you today, I interviewed several students who live here at St. Thomas University, and I asked them, what do you think is the most important message to communicate to your parents? And the first topic was independence. They need to know that we've been independent. They need to know that we sleep when we can, we eat when we can, and we eat what we want, and we do not have curfew. Okay. So students have experienced a great deal of independence, and they believe they are adults. They are on the way to adulthood, but you and I know as parents, they haven't finished that process of development yet. And that's where we come in. But our roles are very, very different than when they were in high school. Do you remember your baby when you gave birth, or you participated in the birthing process as a father, and you looked at this little baby, and it's the parent's experience that I need to protect this child, and that's my job. I'm a lion, I'm a lioness, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect this child. Sadly, we learn through our own life process that we cannot do that. We cannot protect our child from life's sadness, life's grief, life's challenges, and their own personal failures. One of the most important things that we have to accept about our children and that we have to release in ourselves is our lion, our lioness, and our helicopter. Our need to protect, our need to defend, and our need to guide our children through their learning and their identity development on their journey to becoming adults. One of the most important things is to accept failure. Our children will make mistakes. That's a real important part of development. When they come home from school, do not quiz them about school. They may want to share the experience. They may want a break. They may not want to think about school, talk about school, or even share what their grades were. And they may want to communicate about other things, and that's what you have to listen for. As parents, we take our roles very seriously. We love our children. We want them to be successful. We want them to experience life and all the joys and all the beauty that life has to offer. but each child is on their own personal journey. And this is something that we have to recognize as parents. And as adults, our journey is changing radically when they go to college. It's time for us to focus on ourselves, on what we want from life, about how we see our roles. And our relationships are changing as we speak and as your child is there with you now. So many rules are changing as well. I remember with my first child, the social rules in an urban environment were that she could go out at 8 o'clock with her friends, and the curfew would be 12 and maybe extended to 1 o'clock, and for very, very special occasions, 2 o'clock. I knew the parents. I knew where she went. I knew how to communicate with her. And we did several times during the evening sometimes. Sorry, everybody. The rules have radically changed. I was really surprised when going out started at 11 o'clock at night and coming home was 5 a.m. in the morning. In an urban social environment, this is the norm. We may not like it, but this is the way your kids socialize with their friends. Now, in communicating with your kids, we can't change those rules, but we can ensure ourselves that they're safe. If you don't already, you must learn to text. Texting is a skill that every parent needs. They will not pick up the phone when they are with their friends, once, twice, 3 times, but they will glance at your text. So let's negotiate the communication about safety. What time will they be home? Maybe it is 5 in the morning. And how will you know that they're safe? And how will you know where they are? Text them, please. Negotiation is important for everything. There's so many expectations. I come from a very big, huge tribe of family, and we have Sunday dinners. Well, Thanksgiving sometimes has turned into Friendsgiving for some of our students, and Christmas may be the same, and other holidays. Friends are very, very important in college life and in social identity development, but so are our families. Expectations that you have that are not verbalized may go unheeded by your college student. So if you would like your child to be present, please let them know in a way that you use positive communication, such as I statements. I would be really happy if you could come and help me prepare the Christmas dinner. Maybe make some of the super cookies that you did last year. How would that be for you? Okay, that's an I statement. When communicating with your child, forget the word Y-O-U. I repeat, forget the word Y-O-U. Any communication that begins with the word you is met with rolling eyes or a blank stare. You never listen to me. You never consider me. You never spend time with your little sister. You never pick up the laundry. That is not the way to communicate. Okay? Maybe we could talk about our expectations about living together for a few weeks as adults in a more positive way. Maybe we can communicate expectations in ways that start like this, using an I statement. I really appreciate it when you do your own laundry. That makes me recognize you as an adult. I know you've been doing your own laundry for 4 months now. I'm proud of you. Okay? How's that? That's different than, you don't expect me to do that load sitting out by the washing machine. How can I keep this house straight? You come home and that's what you expect me to do, be your maid? I don't think so. Use I statements about your needs and consider your own needs. I need to know that you're safe. I really appreciate it when you text me. Thank you for doing that. It makes me have confidence in you, in the decisions that you're making. Okay, parents, we're also very, very good detectives. We always have been. That's helped us survive the muddy waters of adolescence. And congratulations to you. Your kids made it through. They survived and they thrived, and they are college students finding their way. That is really a wonderful, wonderful thing. But let's take it to that very, very next step. Let's take it to the step where we are communicating with them as the emerging adults they are. Now, I qualified adults with emerging adults. You may be told several times that I'm a grown-up. I don't have to accept your rules. And you may feel like responding, "This is my house." Don't do it. Take a breath, step back, and look at where the student is coming from developmentally. They're finding their way as an emerging adult. And it's very important for you to model what that means. If you'd like to do some detective work, do it inadvertently. Do it on the down low, as we say. You might ask, "Gee, what was your roommate's experience at school this semester? How did you negotiate things that really bothered or annoyed you? What was the most exciting thing that you heard in class? What was it that made you feel passionate about your future? Who are you concerned about? And would you like to have your friends over for dinner?" Invite friends. Let your home be the open house for friends. And then don't question them. Please don't pepper them with questions, but do put your detective hat on and listen. Listen, listen, listen. You will hear what the kids care about. You will learn what your students find important. You will find what they're struggling with. And the lines of communication will be open. You won't be viewed as an interrogator or as someone who does not respect their newfound independence. Do you have a right to make rules? Oh, of course you do. You do have a right to make rules. You have a right to assert your needs. But it's very, very important that you do that in a way that the students feel they are respected in their newfound identity. So I have tremendous confidence in you. This is a wonderful, wonderful time of life for you to reconsider your new life, what you're passionate about, to celebrate with your students, to celebrate with your children, their emerging identity as citizens of the world, and for you as well, to look at your relationships with your significant other, with your partner, and your new relationship with your child. It's changing and it will continue to change. And it's up to you as the adult, because we always have the responsibility in our frustration, in our anger, in our fear, in our sadness. It's our responsibility always to be the adult. And that means meeting your own needs as adults. So I congratulate you, and I walk this journey with you, and I encourage you to talk to Jacqueline House with the parenting program, communicate with her, communicate with the other parents on the parenting page, communicate, 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 and have a beautiful, wonderful Christmas like none other. Thank you.